Hey Aquarius, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. I hope that everybody's doing well. Okay, first card that we have out is Temperance. Temperance with something emotionally. Okay, makes sense. Some of you, there's this part of you that wants things to be happening more quickly. It looks like it's within the setting of a relationship where you may need to be like patient within the relationship, or you may need to be like patient with your partner right now, or you may need to be patient with your feelings. This means too that as much as you may want to exert energy, it may be a time where you need to like rest, or there's like a break that's happening, or if there could just be something going on where rather than it being like action oriented right now, it's not, because it's sort of in the opposite end of the spectrum currently. So it can be like, I want to be on right now, like I want to be active, like I want to be feeling things, like I want us to do this right now. And instead it looks like needing to be patient with something. So it can be stuff going on the other person's end, but also too, like having Temperance and having the Queen of Cups coming out, that means that you may need to temper something emotionally. You may also just need to be patient too. You may need to ground your energy a bit. I'm seeing Four of Swords, so this can mean that you're having like a little bit of a break from somebody, or like they're busy and they have stuff going on. It can be that sort of thing where, again, like instead of it being active right now within this moment, there's like a period of rest or a break. But this also means that it's time for you to recharge, to rest. Temperance and Queen of Cups means too, like being patient with your emotional process as well, and like not rushing yourself. And this can also mean not rushing another person too. It really just depends on your situation and what's going on. But yeah, whatever this dynamic is that you're in, there can be a part of you that's like, I wish that things were moving more quickly, or I wish that this were happening already. But Temperance is going to help you. So it means just continuing to show up, but also respecting the natural flow of the timing of things. So rather than this being on the Queen of Cups again, rather than this being on the agenda of your ego here, or the agenda of the Queen of Cups here within you, which is like that emotionally connected part, that like sensitive feeling part of you. It's about trying to move with the motion and the pace of the flow of things, and not jump into things too quickly either. Starting off with Temperance says like, this is the energy that you need to be in, like this is what's being suggested for you. So you may be feeling very opposite from that right now, where it's like, I don't want to wait, or like I'm having this big emotional like response right now to this thing, or like I want this right now. It's like anything that's like that. But coming out as Temperance, it's like you need to be patient. I'm seeing like another person be involved in this as well. So that means like also showing up in that light with this other person. It can mean something's being worked out, something's being figured out. It can mean too that you're feeling a little bit antsy with the pace of things, but to just show up and sort of like ride the wave that's happening. It looks like this has to do with plans with you and this person. You just may like to do things faster than this situation potentially is allowing right now. Okay. You guys are working together on something. That's what you want. That's what's happening. It looks like everything that's happening is what you want. It just may be moving slower than how you prefer. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. There's really not. This is also meant to teach you patience. Yeah, things are going like just how you want. So feels like there's also a building momentum here that's happening emotionally as well. So this is like a whole emotional storyline for you. There may be some moments too of like disappointment that you're moving through. First and foremost, you're going to identify with the part of your energy right now that's sensing things, that's feeling things, that's impacted emotionally, that's sort of like looking through that lens. And also, I'm seeing this like secondary part of you that's connected too. That's about like taking action based off of that. But I will say that having this combination here can be like slightly volatile. And it feels like that's why Temperance is coming out. Because when you have Queen of Cups and you have King of Wands here, and even though, like, yes, it's you and another person going through this, for some of you there's a child involved, even though there's another person going through this, on the first layer of this, it's you with you. So even on another layer, it's going to be like you and another person or you and other people. Always on like the base layer, it's you with you. So having there be Queen of Cups, which is this part of you that's like, I'm sensing things, I'm feeling things, I'm having this reaction to this thing. It's like everything that's going on in the heart space, everything that's going on feeling-wise and emotionally for you. And then having that, needing to temper that, to not be reactive, to not do something in an emotional state that you're then gonna regret because you were ungrounded when you did it, or like untethered in some way. Then to have that be connected with this secondary energy of this King of Wands. This means like being too hasty with something, or jumping to a conclusion, or taking something personally and then showing up and like being reactive because of that. So it feels like this is also something that's being worked on too within these energies within you, and this can also be something that's being worked out between you and this other person as well. Like you may feel like you're primarily playing one of these roles. Really, ultimately, this is something that's going on within you, and also you may feel like what's going on between you and this person, like one of you is playing the Queen of Cups and one of you is playing the King of Wands here. And so that can mean that one person in this given moment, because you can change into all of the different energies at any given moment. In this given moment, if you're the Queen of Cups, you may feel like you're in touch, that you're sensitive, that you can understand how the other person is feeling, that you may feel like very nurturing towards them and very loving towards them, and just want to like take care of them and make them happy and make sure that they're okay and check in on their mental health. It's like that sort of energy that you feel towards this person. You feel very, very attracted to them. This is somebody that you like the way that they make you feel safe, or you like the way that they take care of things, or you like the way that they show up for you, or are like protective with you, like that sort of thing. That would be like the vibe of the King of Wands here. You like how passionate they are. If you are in the energy of, let me actually finish this thought. If you're in that energy of the Queen of Cups and that's how you're identifying, you may see this person as maybe not always being the most thoughtful, maybe not always being the most sensitive. It's like you're attracted to them and you like maybe how bold they are with things, or how outgoing they are, or how like passionate they are, strong about their beliefs, like that sort of thing. But also sometimes it can feel a little bit of a brush burn with them. with the way that they come across, and you're over here trying to like work with this person, but you guys may have two very different ways of functioning with one another. Like Queen of Cups is feminine water, and then you have King of Wands that is masculine fire energy. And so even though they can complement each other when they're learning to work with one another, which I'm seeing there is this like notion of trying to work together with one another, at the same time, because you guys have two different ways, two different lenses of seeing things, it's about trying to get to a space where you guys are seeing eye to eye, or there is more of a sense of compatibility, because it can easily be like hurt feelings and misunderstandings. Like King of Wands can look at Queen of Cups and be like, you're too sensitive, you're sensitive about everything, like the things aren't that deep, it's not that big of a deal. Like King of Wands can be somebody that's like laughing it off. They can also be like friendly too with other people, which Queen of Cups can be sensitive about and be like, you're showing them attention, like do you like them too, you know? And it all depends too like where we are within our journey as well. These are just like archetypal things that would be happening with these two characters depending on where they are. So yeah, but as they work together more, which we have the Three of Pentacles here too, so it's like we're trying to work together, we're trying to figure things out, we're trying to communicate, which is also a big thing. Like Queen of Cups may not be the fastest one to be communicating things. Queen of Cups, like neither of these energies actually may be the most active. It also depends on like what else is going on in everybody's chart, but Queen of Cups can be more so like, I was thought projecting to you. What do you mean you didn't read my mind? You know, and be like a type of way, or like set these standards or rules or expectations, not communicate them. And then when King of Wands doesn't do that, Queen of Cups is over here like feeling resentful or angry. But it was never communicated. So how was King of Wands supposed to know? It can be that sort of thing. And also like King of Wands can sometimes be like insensitive towards the sensitivities of the Queen of Cups. But King of Wands also looks at Queen of Cups and is like, I love how nurturing you are. I love how in touch you are. I love how intuitive you are. I love how like you see things through that lens that's so creative and so interactive with things. So it's like a very personalized, a very special way of perceiving things. So there is like a lot going on here within these characters, but because of there maybe feeling like a lot of differences, there can be stuff that's like being worked out. And as I said before, you can also feel like this stuff is happening within you too, like all within you, all contained within you. And you're trying to get these energies to work together. It looks like that's exactly what's happening. Maybe also too, you're like maybe more bold with the way that you're stepping up too, and maybe that wasn't something that was happening before. Like I'm seeing this feeling of empowerment with the way that one is showing up. But there can also be, what is this? There's like a worry about something here. Or like an anxiety. It's like a personal anxiety that I'm seeing. King of Wands and the Empress is about taking action in ways that feel empowering, not just to us, but for those around us, especially those that we're working with. These two people here. And I'm seeing that be reflected on. So it's like enjoying things, letting, something may have like gotten really heightened anxious-wise, anxiety-wise, and that's closing out. So you could have felt like something sort of like reached its climax with the air energy. So it can feel like something got very, very intense, either like between you guys. It seems like it's something that impacted both of you guys. But there can be this feeling of like, okay, now that that's over, like, what are we trying to do here? And I'm seeing this like we're working together now to sort of move through this. But I am seeing that like something happened between you guys that seems like quite tumultuous here. I don't know exactly what this situation was, but we have air, so it's like anything with the thoughts, anything with the communication or lack thereof understanding too. It can be like those sorts of things, feeling like you're on two different pages, there being issues with that, somebody being harsh within the communication, not thinking about what they're saying, or then saying something and then the other person feeling a type of way about it. It's like those types of things, or feeling like there was a whole culmination of like anxiety or stress or like something having to do with that. So there was like something that happened with you and this person, because I'm seeing it's not just one side. I'm seeing like both of you guys sort of were like both impacted by this. Then I'm seeing you guys in an energy where it's like you're just like standing there looking at each other, and then moving to the space of like, okay, let's try to figure this out. Let's try to work this out now. So it feels like this moment of being like, okay, you're here and I'm here, and like, what are we doing? And it's like there's this like now silent or not so silent agreement to be like working on things together, because both of you guys are like, that's what I want. It can also feel like this is purpose driven too, of like, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be working on these things together. It feels too like collaborating with this person is feeling empowering. I'm also seeing 9 of Cups, which feels too like this is aligned with what you want. I'm seeing Hermit. So this can be somebody. It can be both of you guys. It can also be one person thinking about their feelings and also thinking about what they want to. So there's a reflection here that's happening. This person may not have indicated this to you. So like, where are you guys within the relationship, I'm wondering? Some of you guys, I don't know how like official your relationship is with this person, but I'm seeing one of the parties that looks like potentially more connected with the King of Wands. I'm seeing Virgo. I'm hearing Pisces. I'm seeing Sagittarius and Gemini up here, and it looks like maybe more connected with the Queen of Cups energy. And then I'm seeing this Virgo energy, and I'm also seeing the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, so that can be Aries too. That's like more so, and Venus, more so connected with this King of Wands. That's where it's looking like the energies are connected. So let's say it's this King of Wands over here. This King of Wands is looking at things and being like, wow, I feel really empowered when I'm working with this person. And so I like the way that this feels, because it makes me feel good about myself, and I feel like I'm being perceived how I want to be perceived, and we're working on things together, and I like this, and this feels like what I want. And so this person is like connecting with their heart space. And it feels like because they're feeling good about the way that they're showing up and how they're being received too, it makes them want to show up more and like give more. And so I'm seeing them sort of like, you guys are working together, right? And it's like, as we see that physically playing out, we then zoom into this person's head and see what's going on mentally for them and like what they're reflecting on. And they're reflecting on how they feel when they're working with you, which is all like really positive stuff. We have the Empress, so this is like the best way that somebody could be feeling. And so because of that, it's having them be like, this is where I want to be and this is what I want. And then also like even more deeply in their head, you have the Page of Cups and you have Ace of Cups. So this person could be thinking about like bringing something to your attention, or being like, hey, like I'm having feelings, but it's something that they may not have necessarily shared with you yet, because we have Hermit here. So this can be something that the person is thinking about, but they haven't communicated that yet. And that may be too why Temperance is here, because you have to be patient and wait for it. Because I'm seeing it be like, your guides are letting you know that that's where they are mentally with things. Like they're thinking, Emperor on the bottom of the deck, they're thinking about this being like a long-term connection between you guys. Having Page of Cups here can be feelings. As I said before, there can also be a child that's involved in this as well. Or like an animal or something, someone that's being taken care of. Doesn't have to be, but it can be something. For some of you, it definitely is something that's involved here. And also, Page of Cups and Ace of Cups is somebody being like, I want to make this gesture towards this person. But having Temperance here, if you're the one that's like on the receiving end of this, because maybe you feel like, I'm seeing this Queen of Cups be like, I'm already there. So if that's you, you're like, I've been ready to like talk about how I feel this whole time. I've been waiting on you. Like this thing's going on with this other person. It's like they've still been dealing with stuff. Like they're enjoying things that are happening with you. They may also be like dealing with the conclusion of a relationship that they're still getting over too, regardless of when that happened for them, because I'm seeing Ten of Swords. So there could have been a lot of anxieties that they've been facing that have to do with like relationships in general or stuff that they've been through in the past. So they're like overcoming things too. But that could have also been something that was impacting your relationship with them as well. And now I'm seeing them get to a point where they're like, having King of Wands and having the Empress shows this person, this King of Wands, being in a very, very, very empowered space. And so they're not like hiding, they're not running away, they're not gonna like sabotage things. It means that they're feeling like the best that they could be within their energy. Like they're in the true, like pure expression of their energy. And so now that they're reflecting on this, they're like, now that I'm in this like very empowered space, it's like this very high vibrational space that this person is in now. And it seems like it's been encouraged by the way that you guys have been working with one another, and that like really revealing to this person how that's connected with what they want in a deeper way. Now they're getting to this point where they're like, they're in this space like with a flashlight checking out their feelings and like checking in within the heart space. But I'm seeing something that's been like growing for quite some time emotionally for them, but for some of you they just haven't indicated this yet. Because it seems to like this is somebody that they may know that this is going to be like an invitation to a long-term thing, and they could have been like, it seems like they were playing it safe a bit, but I don't think that they were feeling necessarily empowered before. They could have been processing through some painful stuff still, and now they're getting to this point where it's like they feel good about things. It feels like they feel like secure, but mostly like within themselves actually. So you could feel like you're empowering this person by the way that you're showing up with them. So you would just be encouraged to do that, and do not pressure them and do not rush them. Starting off with Temperance here. If you're this Queen of Cups, just because you're in a space, and maybe you also know that this person is in that space with you too. Because, right, you're intuitive, you know what's going on with this person, you're in touch. You may know how they're feeling before they know how they're feeling, but because of them being this King of Wands, they don't want you to tell them that. They want to be the ones to tell you. So they would not, even though they appreciate how intuitive you are and how in touch you are, they also want to be the one that's like, I'm letting you know that this is how I feel, or that I want this with you. Like, so don't steal their thunder. That's why I'm seeing Temperance be here. Still need to be patient with this person, but I am very much seeing your guides be like, know that when they're like, I don't want to say pulling away, but when they're kind of like on their own, or when they're self-reflecting, or like when they're getting quiet, what's on their mind is how they feel about you and sort of like what's going on here. So just know that. And their intention is for this to be a long-term thing as well. And I think that that's also like encouragement for you to know that even though they may not have like specifically let you know certain things, I feel like they're still keeping certain things to themselves. Just know that like this is where things are going. So maybe that can also help you be more patient too, because there's a sense of security in that, because maybe you were starting to feel insecure because you're like, they still haven't said anything. But it's interesting, like, it's like they could have definitely said something already, because I'm seeing something feel like a bit overgrown at this point, but it's like they wanted to be like really, really, really sure. And also too, I think based off of what they were going through, it sort of like delayed certain things, because you could have felt like when you connected with them, it wasn't a completely like blank slate. And so there was still some like residue that was being worked through. So yeah, that's just what I'm seeing going on here. I'm looking at Aries on the bottom of the deck, Virgo, I'm hearing Scorpio. I was also seeing the star too throughout the reading, which can mean too that there's like healing that's being done. I'm looking at Venus, Gemini, and also Sagittarius. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.